life is a box of chocolates. You'll never know what you're about to... I was never a big fan of that phrase. Because if you buy a box of chocolates, like let's say Ferrero Rocher, you'd know exactly what you're getting. Am I wrong? Am I... What is up, guys? Thank you for joining me in this review and comparison of Azul Master Chocolatier. The original Azul, designed by Michael Kiesling and published by Plan B Games in 2017, is an abstract strategy tile drafting game that was good. Very good indeed. How good was the original Azul? Well, it won Spiel des Jahres, or Game of the Year in 2018. It also won the Golden Geek Board Game of the Year and the Golden Geek Best Family Game in the same year, and received the Origin Awards for the Best Board Game. For those keeping score, that's 4 awards. That's more awards than I will receive in my lifetime. But maybe you guys can help me receive my first award by helping me get a YouTube plaque. I'm only 99,848 subs away, so please help me out. Seriously guys, if you can help me out with a sub, I would appreciate that greatly. It really helps out the channel. Azul has many versions, but today we're going to primarily talk about, as of today, the latest version of Azul, which is Azul Master Chocolatier, and as per the box, is a limited edition. We're going to have a deeper look at the differences between the two, starting with theme. The theme of the original Azul is centered around tiling in Portugal during King Manuel's reign. This is King Manuel I. Handsome guy. Handsome guy. Just wait a sec. He got married 3 times. Facts. So you're saying there's a chance. In the OG Azul, players take the role of artisans tasked by the handsome King Manuel to embellish the walls of the royal palace with stunning ceramic tiles. That theme took me about 30 seconds to a minute to explain, and sometimes the point doesn't get across with newbies. Now time me. Azul Master Chocolatier's theme revolves around the best chocolate makers around the world, creating the most desired chocolate selection ever. That took me about 2 seconds to say. The theme is basically which f***er has the best chocolates ever. Let me just say, explaining the theme of this is heaps easier than explaining the theme of the original. Now let's have a look at the main differences between the art and the components, starting with the outside. The original Azul definitely looks more abstract. The art sort of screams tiles, and the box really looks like a wall. While Azul Master Chocolatier, this thing really looks like an actual box of chocolates. If any of you decide or have Azul Master Chocolatier, get this thing locked up or in a safe spot, because I honestly think if a 3 or 4-year-old sees this, they might think this is an actual box of chocolate and might choke on some of the components. I'm not even joking here, I really mean that. The player boards have the exact same size, so don't get confused or excited with the difference between that. There's a difference in art styles, obviously, one for the tiles in the original and one for a box of chocolate sort of design on Azul Master Chocolatier. Now if you have a look at the back of the player boards, which is the other variant play, I really appreciate that in Azul Master Chocolatier, there are these paper cups that you would get in an actual box of chocolate. I thought that was neat and smart to incorporate that in this theme. Now we're going to have a look at the tiles, and I hate to sound like a broken record here. The original look like ceramic tiles, and Azul Master Chocolatier looks like chocolate. Now I'll shut up for a second so that you guys can really appreciate the art and the differences between the two tiles, because I honestly think the tiles are what makes the game beautiful. Hey, I'm back again. Now we'll look at the factory displays. Both look fairly similar, with just a bit of style and color differences. The main thing in Azul Chocolatier is if you flip the tiles, there'll be symbols. These are for another game mode that is exclusive to this game. We'll touch back on this when we discuss the gameplay. Speaking of which, Both versions of Azul have the exact same main gameplay. The main objective of Azul is to create arrangements and patterns of tiles to score points. The game is set up with factory displays. Yes, these are supposed to represent factories. Use your imagination a little bit. Each factory display will house tiles. Players will take turns taking all tiles of their color of choice from either the factory displays or the middle. The players then choose which pattern line the tiles go to. But they have to be careful. Any overflow means that the tiles or the chocolates fall on the floor and count as negative points at the end of the round. And who wants to eat chocolate from the floor? Once there are no more tiles in the factory display or the middle, the players move to the wall tiling phase. When a pattern line is full, this means that the wall is tiled, and that is how scoring is earned. After all players have tiled their walls, the factory displays are refilled, and just like me after an energy drink, we're ready for the next round. And this continues to proceed until a player gets 5 consecutive tiles in a horizontal line. This means that the game has ended and the final scoring happens. The player with the highest score wins. Obvs. Both games also have the same variant when the player board is flipped over and you're allowed to pattern the wall the way you want to. For Azul Master Chocolatier, as we talked about earlier, has a variant exclusive game where the back of the factory displays have special symbols on them which mean different things. This, for example, means that instead of 4 tiles, there is an extra 1. This symbol here means that any factory displays adjacent that have the same type of chocolate get sucked into that factory display instead. What I really like about Azul Master Chocolatier is its art and design. I really enjoy its sort of maroon aesthetic, and I like the design of it being themed around a box of chocolates. Some of my friends enjoy the artwork and the box of the original, and that's okay, it's just a matter of preference and taste. And I also feel that the theme in Azul Master Chocolatier is a bit better and a bit better to understand. For example, in the original Azul, we're artists required by the Prince or the King of Portugal to lay tiles to make the most beautiful, blah blah blah, etc. In Azul Master Chocolatier, we're a bunch of people trying to see who has the best chocolate selection. That's it. Easy. The new factory display mode adds a little bit of spice to a game that we already know. Think of it like owning Uno Flip or Uno Mercy on top of your regular Uno. That being said, Uno Flip only costs $10. This costs 3 or 4 times more than that. It's a bit hard for me to justify paying a full price if I already have the original Azul. It's basically the same game that's been reskinned, and if you don't have both, it's very easy to get the original Azul on a sale price or cheaper on the second-hand market. Let me also say that the special factory variant isn't really balanced well. It's just meant to be a light, fun version of the game, not to be confused with anything competitive. Final thoughts. If you have the original Azul, have a good think about whether the new theme and this new variant would be worth paying more. Because in all honesty, I wouldn't. And if you think I'm lying, I only got this for a good price because there was a hole at the back of the box. I got it for less than half the price. I don't mind there being a dent in my boxes. If I didn't own any of the Azuls and I could only find both at full price, I really enjoy this theme and I would much rather get this. Thank you very much for joining me in this review and comparison. Take care, you guys. Peace.